Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines: RBI cuts repo interest rate by 25 basis points to 6%, switches to accommodative stance to spur growth. RBI also lowers GDP growth projection to 6.5% for current financial year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi describes climate change as biggest crisis, says solution lies in sustainable lifestyle. Agriculture ministers of BIMSTEC countries meet in Kathmandu. 104% reciprocal tariff imposed by US President Donald Trump on China comes into force. 26% tariffs on imports from India also come into effect. And in IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans to take on Rajasthan Royals in Ahmedabad this evening. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has cut its policy repo rate by 25 basis points to 6% for the second straight time, having cut its rate for the first time in 5 years back in February. Announcing this in Mumbai today, RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra said the 6-member committee voted unanimously for the rate cut in the first meeting of the financial year.
The MPC voted unanimously to reduce the policy repo rate by 25 basis points to 6% with immediate effect. Consequently, the standing deposit facility, the SDF rate under the liquidity adjustment facility shall stand adjusted to 5.75%, and the marginal standing facility rate or the MSF rate and the bank rate shall stand adjusted to 6.25%.
The MPC also changed the monetary policy stance from neutral to accommodative, signalling further reductions in the repo rate. While announcing the decisions, the RBI governor said the MPC has also decided to slash the GDP growth forecast to 6.5% in 2025-26 from 6.7% projected earlier. He added that retail inflation is expected to be 4% in 2025-26.
The global economic outlook is fast changing. The recent trade tariff-related measures have exacerbated uncertainties, clouding the economic outlook across regions, posing new headwinds for global growth and inflation. Amidst this turbulence, the US dollar has weakened appreciably, bond yields have softened significantly, equity markets are correcting, and crude oil prices have fallen to their lowest in over 3 years. In fact, as we speak, it is about $60 to a barrel.
Our correspondent has filed this report.
RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra today said that the growth prospects have been slashed from 6.7 to 6.5% to reflect the impact of global trade and policy uncertainties. He, however, said that growth prospects of the agriculture sector remain bright. On the back of healthy reservoir levels and robust crop production, manufacturing activity is also showing signs of revival, while services sector activity continues to be resilient. Going forward, net services and remittance receipts are expected to remain in large surplus, partly offsetting the trade deficit, with the current account deficit CAD for 2024-25 and 2025-26 expected to remain well within the sustainable level. With Nisha Rani, this is Ankita Apte, Akashvani News, Mumbai.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has described climate change as the biggest crisis today, saying its solution lies in sustainable lifestyle, which is being practiced by the Jain community for centuries. Mr. Modi stated this while addressing a function on the occasion of Navkar Mahamantra Divas in New Delhi today. He remarked that the Jain community has been living the principles of simplicity, restraint and sustainability for centuries.
जैन धर्म हमें बाहरी दुनिया नहीं, खुद को जीतने की प्रेरणा देता है। जब हम खुद को जीतते हैं, हम अरिहंत बनते हैं, और इसलिए नवकार महामंत्र मांग नहीं है, ये मार्ग है। एक ऐसा मार्ग जो इंसान को भीतर से शुद्ध करता है, जो इंसान को सौहार्द की राह दिखाता है।
Underscoring that the world's trust in India is deepening, with India's efforts and results becoming a source of inspiration, Mr. Modi highlighted that global institutions are now looking towards India because of its progress, which opens pathways for others. He connected this to Jain philosophy, emphasizing that life thrives on mutual cooperation. He noted that this perspective has raised global expectations from India, and the nation has intensified its efforts. The Prime Minister also called for promoting local products, saying that more and more items made in India should be bought and others must also be encouraged to do so. He underlined the need to make local to global.
साथियों, जब मैं वोकल फॉर लोकल कहता हूं, जो सामान बना है भारत में, जो बिके भारत में भी और दुनिया भर में, जिस सामान को बनाने में किसी भारतीय के पसीने की खुशबू हो, जिस सामान में भारत की मिट्टी की महक हो, हमें उसे खरीदना है और दूसरों को भी प्रेरित करना है.
Highlighting that the philosophy of Navkar Mahamantra is connected to the vision of a developed India, he appealed to people to take 9 resolutions, namely resolution to save water, 1 tree in the name of mother, mission of cleanliness, vocal for local, domestic tourism, adopting natural farming, adopting healthy lifestyle, bringing yoga and sports into life, and finally, resolution to help the poor. The Prime Minister outlined the importance of Jainism in India's history, identity and spiritual journey, noting that Jain literature is the backbone of the intellectual glory of India. He highlighted the classical language status given to Prakrit and Pali as the government's duty to preserve knowledge.
दुर्भाग्य से अनेक अहम ग्रंथ धीरे-धीरे लुप्त हो रहे थे. इसलिए हम ज्ञान भारत मिशन शुरू करने जा रहे हैं. इस वर्ष बजट में इसकी घोषणा की गई है. देश में करोड़ों पांडुलिपियों का सर्वे कराने की तैयारी इसमें हो रही है. प्राचीन धरोहरों को डिजिटल करके हम प्राचीनता को आधुनिकता से जोड़ेंगे.
In his speech, Prime Minister Modi said that New India will look for opportunities through artificial intelligence and show the path to world spirituality. Talking about the vision of Viksit Bharat, Mr. Modi said developed India means development as well as heritage.
नवकार महामंत्र का एक दर्शन विकसित भारत के विजन से जुड़ता है. मैंने लाल किले से कहा है, विकसित भारत यानी विकास भी विरासत भी. एक ऐसा भारत जो रुकेगा नहीं, जो थमेगा नहीं, जो ऊंचाई छुएगा लेकिन अपनी जड़ों से नहीं कटेगा. विकसित भारत अपनी संस्कृति पर गर्व करेगा. इसलिए हम अपने तीर्थंकरों की शिक्षाओं को सहेजते हैं.
This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts, and for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. Welcome back to the Midday News. President Draupadi Murmu has concluded her visit to Portugal and arrived in the Slovakian capital, Bratislava, early this morning. The state visit of the president is historic and taking place after a gap of 29 years. More from our correspondent.
On the first day of the state visit to Slovakia, President of India receives grand welcome at Presidential Palace, Bratislava. President of India was received by Peter Pellegrini, President of the Slovak Republic. President was traditionally welcomed with bread and salt by a Slovak couple in a fog dress. President also inspected Guard of Honor. One-to-one meeting and delegation-level talks between the President of India and the President of Slovakia, Peter Pellegrini, is being held at Presidential Palace. There will also be a meeting with the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico. The President will also meet the Speaker of the National Council of Slovakia, Richard Rasi. Pooja P. Vardhan, Akashvani News, Bratislava.
The third Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation BIMSTEC Agriculture Ministers level meeting took place in Kathmandu today. The Indian delegation, led by Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Bhutan's Agriculture Minister Leonpo Yunten Puntso, arrived in Kathmandu yesterday evening to attend the meeting in person, while agriculture ministers from other 5 member countries of BIMSTEC joined virtually. A report from our correspondent.
In the third Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation meeting of agriculture ministers in Kathmandu, Nepal's agriculture minister Ramnath Adhikari presided over the minister-level meeting. The meeting discussed matters related to status and challenges of agriculture and collaboration among the member countries. India's Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers, Welfare and Rural Development, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, addressed the meeting today. During the meeting, he highlighted various initiatives of India in agriculture like climate resilience, natural farming, and digital agriculture mission. He stated that BIMSTEC is central to India's effort to ensure food security, climate adaptation, and sustainable agriculture. He mentioned about the World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit to be organized by India and Mumbai in May 2025 and extended an invitation to BIMSTEC member countries to participate in WAVE Summit. Shweta Singh for Akashvani News, Kathmandu.
US President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs came into effect, including a staggering 104% tariff on Chinese imports. The new tariff structure follows President Trump's ultimatum to Beijing to roll back its retaliatory 34% duties on American goods. Trump's 26% tariffs on imports from India also came into effect today. Besides India, Trump announced 46% tariffs on Vietnam, 32% on Taiwan, 25% on South Korea, 24% on Japan, and 20% on the European Union. According to Goldman Sachs, it could be a significant blow to China's economy that could slash Beijing's growth by 2.4 percentage points. Union Minister Piyush Goyal has said the government is working on a bilateral trade agreement, as was decided between Prime Minister Modi and US President Trump in February. He added that India had a series of engagements, all of which are going in the right direction.
I think when the Prime Minister and President Trump met, they had both announced that we shall enter into discussions for a bilateral trade agreement by the fall of 25. Our businesses work seamlessly with each other. India opened their arms to all the tech giants, be it Google, be it Meta. All of them were welcome in India.
Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that India offers a compelling growth opportunity for foreign banks, and the government is actively encouraging foreign investment in the banking sector. Addressing the India-UK Investor Roundtable discussion in London, the Union Minister outlined priorities of the government for enabling sustained economic growth and investment opportunities with the policy support that is shaping New India. She highlighted the efforts being made by the government to pursue process and governance reforms to reduce compliance burden and ease regulation for facilitating an enabling environment for business and investments.
Over the last 2.5 decades, globalization has presented India with unprecedented opportunity in trade, in investment, and also in technical advancement. As a trusted investment destination, India has attracted cumulative gross FDI, that is a foreign direct investment inflows, exceeding $1 trillion since 2000. Investor-friendly policies, a vibrant innovation ecosystem, and improving global competitiveness continue to attract capital and technology into our country.
In IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans will play against Rajasthan Royals at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. Last night, Punjab Kings defeated Chennai Super Kings by 18 runs in Chandigarh. Opting to bat first, Punjab Kings scored 219 for 6 in the stipulated 20 overs. In reply, Chennai Super Kings could only manage 201 for 5 in 20 overs. In another match yesterday, Lucknow Super Giants beat hosts Kolkata Knight Riders by 4 runs at Eden Gardens, Kolkata. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. RBI cuts repo rate by 25 basis points to 6%, switches to accommodative stance to spur growth. RBI also lowers GDP growth projection to 6.5% for current financial year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi describes climate change as biggest crisis, says solution lies in sustainable lifestyle. Agriculture ministers of BIMSTEC countries meet in Kathmandu. 104% reciprocal tariff imposed by US President Donald Trump on China comes into force. 26% tariffs on imports from India also come into effect. And in IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans to take on Rajasthan Royals in Ahmedabad this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.